first thing we're going to be talking about is what happened in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This was a tough story. Rome, you shared this with me, and I was just like, yo, this is crazy, bro. So I have a video that I would like to share first, talking about what happened. This gives a more of an overview, and then I have the articles that goes deeper into it as well. So
stay updated about break.
In Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is under scrutiny because of lawsuits that claim officers tortured detainees in an off-site warehouse. NBC News Now correspondent Stephen Romo has more on the disturbing allegation.
Shocking allegations about an unmarked police facility in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, coming to light in a new federal lawsuit.
Detainees are essentially kidnapped, taken, interrogated, frequently beaten, and strip searched.
Now, one of the officers involved, Troy Lawrence Jr., has resigned and is charged with small battery in connection to a different incident.
Now, first of all, one of the things that I think that needs to be hammered home is just because a cop is black doesn't mean that they're black first. You see a black cop, sometimes they treat us worse than the white ones.
Should they have to if they want to keep their job? And especially if they see something, if a white officer do something in front of a black officer, knowing that he shouldn't do it, he's not going to speak up because he's a cop first.
Yeah. That's what sucks the most. All right, let's continue.
Local leaders disturbed by the revelations.
I made the immediate decision to permanently close the facility.
47-year-old Ternell Brown is suing the Baton Rouge Police Department, saying she endured sexual humiliation while in custody in June. Brown says in the complaint she was stopped while carrying 2 types of her own prescription pills and taken to an off-site warehouse referred to as the Brave Cave by the Baton Rouge Area Violence Elimination Unit, or Brave Team. There, she says she underwent an invasive 2-hour strip search with a flashlight and was released with no charges.
What if that was your grandma? Like, what if that was your sister, your grandma, your girlfriend, your wife, your daughter? Like, I want people to really take this in. Like, what if your loved one was taken to a remote location and strip searched by male police officers because they saw that she had medication in the car and they wanted to search her for drugs, even though that was her medication prescribed to her by her doctor? Like, even if, bruh, even if it was illegal drugs, even still, that shouldn't have happened.
They shouldn't have took her to that offsite. We have given these people millions and billions of dollars of our own, of our tax dollars in order to have these departments and all of these buildings that they need. And like somebody had pointed out, the mayor knew about this. Of course she knew about this. All of them knew about this. You have to. They just got caught. They just been caught. So now it's time to clean house. And who's going to be the fall guy? Because I'm not going down for that.
Even though she should.
But this is what they do to black communities. They do this to black communities. They really send these people out to hunt us down and torture us. People think that we are just being, we are just saying this because we are over policed or whatever it may be. Like, no, sometimes we actually get tortured. We have to live in hell in our own communities because of these people. And like I say, if you are a Blue Lives Matter type of person, if you still back the blue after this, well, get these police officers that you send in our communities and put them in your neighborhood. Since you love them so much, put them in your neighborhood.
Absolutely. All right, let's continue.
That facility has been around 19 years. Facility is called the Narcotics Processing Center.
Were you aware that it was used for strip searches?
No, the strip search, I was not aware of that.
It's not just the existence of this facility that's under scrutiny. The department's broad stop and strip policy is also being questioned. It allows officers to strip search civilians without arresting them.
Do you think that
There's part of me feels like the chief.
So they raping motherfuckers.
Yeah. Part of me thinks that chief just has plausible deniability. Like, don't tell me what's going on in there. Just do what you need to do. That's what I feel like. Like, maybe I'm being a little bit skeptical, too skeptical. It just correct me if I'm wrong. But that feels like plausible deniability. Like, look, if y'all don't tell me what's going on in there, then, I don't know.
This is some sick shit, man. You know how evil of a person you have to be to even do some stuff like this. And I wonder if they at least like, hey, you got to have cameras in these facilities so we can see what's going on. Obviously not, since, hey, we don't know. I don't know what's going on in those. I didn't know about the strip search. Yeah, bullshit. You taking these people who's not arrested into a location that's not even connected to the police department.
Yep.
Anything can happen. And people don't speak up out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
People don't speak up out of fear of what might happen. And these police officers have too much power. Now imagine somebody not speaking up because of they have been sexually assaulted by their dad, their uncle, their cousins, whatever it may be, out of fear. Imagine the police.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the police doing that same thing to you. You think they're gonna be? You think they're gonna be people that's gonna speak up? No, they're gonna have to really get caught for survivors and victims to come forth. We have seen this multiple times, just like when that other cop raped over 200 something women.
And I just want to give direct attention to this. Says strip searches may be conducted on non-arrestees based on individualized, articulable, reasonable suspicion to frisk, probable cause to search, consent, or a court order. So basically, they can strip search you or maybe even cavity search you without you being arrested. And there was a story a few months back where I covered where young black men were being groped by police officers, and some of these young men were under the age of 18 by police. They were stripped in the street and groped by police officers.
And this happens,
And what's going on
a
with
lot. Like, I remember growing up and being, I ain't gonna say groped and whatnot, but we have been illegally detained. I done had guns in my face, police guns in my face, just from being in a dark alley. Just from me and my boys walking from the store in the dark alley. They think we got drugs, so now they all up in our personal.
Wow.
And it gets like, man, you should see how they treat our drug dealers. I'm not saying, hey, drug dealers should be treated should be treated fairly and whatnot, but people are just living how they're getting how they live. They aren't worse than big pharma and whatnot. We don't need pushing what they giving, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're going to nigga ass crack in front of your boys. You know how that look? How y'all gonna talk about this after? But this is how and nobody do nothing about it because they're the police. What can we do? But then when a police officer do get hit, everybody like, oh my God, this is so tragic. Why is people shooting the cops? What you mean why people shooting the cops? He just went in my asshole in front of my best friend. But
yeah, I mean, there's literally sexual violence, bro, being committed by agents of the state.
It's all type of stories why cops get blue.
Yeah,
but they bring it on. They bring it upon themselves, just like this. Now, what would happen if the neighborhood would rise up, and just burn all those facilities down? Rightfully so.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing, and let me take this down just to make the point. You know how a lot of people, especially, a lot of people who especially are conservative, like, we need to protect our children, right? And rightly so, we need to protect our kids. But police are literally detaining minors and groping them and committing sexual violence against these young men. And yet nobody says a word about those kids being protected. Like, I thought you guys were about protecting kids. Are we going
to even talk to
these
kids? They don't even supposed to talk to kids without your parents present. If you're 16 and younger, they're only supposed to talk to you at all.
Nope. And yeah, here they are.
Ain't no fucking way. People saying, "Oh, we can reform this," and no, and a lot of people are right. You can't reform this. What you do is you get rid of these people. You get rid of these people, and you get the people in the neighborhood to control their own neighborhood. You give them the power. Give us the weapons and all the fucking money that you was giving these police departments. And I trust me, crime would go the fuck down.
Yeah, we have a vested interest in our own protection.
You won't need the fucking police.
Yep. All right, let's continue.
Arresting them.
Do you think that might need to change the strip search policy?
Absolutely.
The chief says the department policy is reviewed yearly, but the strip search policy hasn't been revised since 2016, and that's despite a complaint 3 years ago.
What I'm getting arrested for?
You being detained.
How? For what?
Because I said so.
But you ain't tell me.
I ain't gotta tell you why. I don't have.
Last month, BRPD hit with yet another lawsuit. This time, 22-year-old Jeremy Lee says he was beaten at the offsite facility and left with a fractured rib, among other injuries. According to the Baton Rouge police chief, it was Lee's complaint to the department in July that led him to disband the Brave unit. Lawrence Jr., a member of the unit and an officer named in both lawsuits, was involved in at least 4 other lawsuits alleging assault that have either been dismissed or settled. The police department is conducting its own internal affairs and criminal investigations, as well as asking the FBI to get involved.
Do you know of any other cases that could be in the works regarding the Brave Cave?
We do. There will be more.
Stephen Romo, NBC News.
So they have a torture facility in the Black community. I don't know. People like they say, they look at us crazy when we say defund the police, abolish the police, because they don't have to go through these realities. They have a torture facility in the Black community where Black people were getting tortured at. No telling how many. He has 4 complaints. That's just people who have the balls to stand up. 4 of them out of a whole community. I guarantee there's hundreds, if not thousands, of victims living around there. Probably have to pass up that damn facility every day and think about what had took place behind that closed fucking gate. This shit is sick. And all these people sitting here, you're gonna find some way to back the blue. You're gonna say, well, we need some type of policing, we need some type of this, we need some type of that. No. If you need that shit in your neighborhood, like I said, if you love the police that much, if you want these type of police officers around, if you want them in our neighborhoods, only right that you have them in your neighborhood. Put these motherfuckers around your kids. Put these motherfuckers around your grandmother. And see how fast they snap at you too. See how fast your ass get thrown in the paddy wagon when they bored. You get pulled over because they ain't got nothing else to do because your car look better than theirs.
Yeah.
You people are sick in the head. If you can see this story, and still try to ease your way out of this corner. Try to scoot your way out of this corner, and still, you are no different from these men who have been torturing these people in this black community.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, unfortunately, it gets worse. Like there's a lot more to this story. So this is how the Guardian says Louisiana police accused of unconscionable abuse in Brave Cave. So just to go over some of the things that also hasn't been covered. So here's one point I wanted to make out. It says, after the first of the two lawsuits, the Brave unit, primarily addressing drug-related complaints, was disbanded and its warehouse was shuttered. One of the officers in both lawsuits, Troy Lawrence Jr., the son of the Baton Rouge Police Department's deputy chief, has resigned. The son of the deputy chief. And says, and he has also been arrested on count of battery in connection with the third case that got closer look because of the Brave Cave allegations. So you also got, you also have the son of one of the chiefs. So that black man that was featured, that black police officer, yeah, that's one of the sons of the deputy chiefs.
I was wondering how he got his own little department, his own little team. There's always some pulls. They always got pulled somewhere. Mm-hmm. It ain't because he was the best police officer. It ain't nothing like that. Ain't his arrest record, nothing like that. He steady getting complaints, and he get his own little fucking program. Wow, I wonder how.
Yep.
And his dad need to be investigated too. They probably ain't no telling how many kids, how many preteens they done harassed, sexually assaulted in that fucking facility, in that torture program.
Yep. Nepotism in the police department. Who'd have thunk it? But now I want to go over something that's really bad. So trigger warning to anybody who has suffered sexual assault. I'm going to be getting some gory details just to let you guys know, so you guys aren't, caught off guard. So be prepared. So it says the lawsuit filed Monday by Baton Rouge grandmother Ternell Brown provides chilling details about one such search. In filings at Baton Rouge's federal courthouse, Brown recounts how she was out driving on the 10th of June when two officers, Lawrence Jr., which is one of the son of the deputy chief, and Matthew Wallace, noticed prescription medications in her car during a traffic stop. This is how traffic stops can become deadly too. It says Brown asserts that she had offered to show the cops that she had valid prescription, but they didn't want to hear it. They took her to the Brave Cave, ordered her to fully undress, and made her spread. You guys can see that I can't say it because we're on Twitter. I'm sorry, on YouTube.
And then, what's so crazy? I thought female cops only supposed to check the female, the women. Women cops supposed to check women. That's detained, right?
Yeah.
So
they just are all male cops.
And she was around all male cops when
all male cops. Yes.
You know how humiliating that has to be, man.
That's somebody's grandma.
These men probably took pictures of her. Probably got shit on their cameras.
That's horrible.
I guarantee if we check their damn hard drives, and man, these men are probably I'm telling you, this is going to lead to sex trafficking. This is going to lead to sex trafficking and CP and sex trafficking. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With all these people going missing in the black community as it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So continuing on, it says police ultimately released Brown without having booked her with a crime, according to Thompson, as Baton Rouge daily newspaper The Advocate has previously reported. Said Brown's claims came less than a month after Baton Rouge man named Jeremy Lee accused Lawrence Jr. and Wallace, the same two police officers, of assaulting him in front of his home without reasonable suspicion or probable cause. The officers ultimately took leave to the Brave Cave, where Lawrence Jr., Wallace, and Joseph Carboni fractured one of the 21-year-old's ribs and caused him other injuries while roughing him up there, according to the lawsuit. So they basically sexually humiliated and assaulted a grandmother, and then a young man, they beat him up. So Lee was booked with the count of resisting arrest. Of course, they're going to get him on resisting arrest. And you know what they do with the resisting arrest? Any type of tension whatsoever that they feel, the person that they're beating up or they are subduing, they'll say, stop resisting, even though you're not actually resisting. Mm-hmm. It's basically like taking somebody's hand and hitting them with their hand and saying, stop hitting yourself.
If you punch somebody, if you hit somebody with a blunt object or whatever it may be, they're, you know what I'm saying, they're going to have a reaction. They're going to probably swing back because that's what their brain, that's what their body is telling them to do. Mm-hmm. You know, they're going to try to block the hit. Your brain was like, if you seen something dropping down, then you're going to try to block. Stop resisting my ass beating. Mm-hmm. That's what that shit mean.
Yep.
How can man, come on, man. And then arrested for what? Resist arrest. What was I being arrested for? Mm-hmm. That's the scope that they want y'all to go down. And now you're gonna have these lawyers all up in your ear while you in jail. Like, look, man, just plead guilty. We can get you out. You know, next time we see the lawyer, blah blah, this and that. And now you got your number. And now they can fuck with you because they know you're gonna be back through that revolving door.
Yep. And the mayor, she said that I was appalled to hear what was being alleged to take place at the facility. Here's the thing. It says, despite Broom's self-described disgust, Frampton has become quick to point out this was not at all the first time officers who are sworn to protect the city with the majority of Black residents have been accused of such behavior. So you're appalled, but this isn't the first time this has been happening. So it says Baton Rouge officers looked in the underwear and groped the genitals of Clarence Green and his teenage brother during a 2021 traffic stop, subsequently drawing scrutiny from the police officers' methods, as the Advocate reported. Officers alleged that the search turned up a gun and marijuana that were both illegally possessed, but a judge dismissed the charges filed against Green.
I wonder why. Because he know these cops, and then like even as a judge, the judge probably like, look, man, y'all pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get some eyes on us.
Yep. This is also the same city where Alton Sterling was murdered by police. It says an officer's killing of Alton Sterling outside of a convenience store ignited days of Black Lives Matter protests that year. Less than 2 weeks later, after Sterling's slaying, which was recorded on a widely viewed cell phone video, 4 law enforcement officers were shot dead and 2 others were wounded in an ambush-style attack down the road from the Baton Rouge Police Department headquarters. The officer who fatally shot Sterling resigned. The gunman who killed 2 Baton Rouge police officers as well as 2 sheriff's deputies, were shot dead himself by law enforcement officers who confronted him. Sterling's family later received a $4.5 million settlement from Baton Rouge's city government to conclude an episode presaging the worldwide protests against the brutality that were elicited by a Minneapolis police officer murder of George Floyd in 2020. So
I can't believe he clapped their ass. Motherfuckers be done with that shit. I'm telling you, everybody ain't about to take that abuse for too long, man. Like some of us had we was born in it, you know what I'm saying? Like when your parents have to have that talk with you when you're going out, you 5-6 years old. You shouldn't have to have a talk about your safety, the police, and how they're not actually good, how they would kidnap you. What the fuck? That's traumatizing for a kid. Then you growing up seeing the shit. Like,
yeah. So there's another article that I want to share as well. This one talks about the same story. It talks about how the FBI is actually investigating this story. I don't trust the FBI either, but it says it talks about what's going on. It says this latest scandal adds to a long list of corruption and misconduct allegations plaguing the Baton Rouge Police Department, which came under significant scrutiny following the 2016 fatal police shooting of Alton Sterling, who was 37 years old. It says in 2021, a corruption probe into the department's narcotics division led to criminal charges and internal discipline against officers accused of stealing drugs from evidence and lying on police reports. So these same cops were actually stealing some of the drugs and either using them or they could be planting them in order to frame people.
People think I'll be lying, bro. When I'm telling you, when we sold drugs, the police used to come for their cut. They used to come for their cut. Now they can come in many ways. They might send a woman to you. You know, they might send a woman cop to you, and she's gonna warn you about a raid or whatever it may be. Sometimes they just come on the block and just G-check you. You know, if it's the narcs, if it's the narcs, they just coming out there. They running your pockets. They know you can't do nothing about it. They running your pockets. They taking your weed, taking a little bit of your dope. They probably keep some dope on you so you can keep going, and they can come back and collect again. But dude, they will rob you. They will rob you, man. I remember we was in a raid. We was getting raided. These motherfuckers took our TVs. They took our GameCube, took our Nintendo. They took everything, though. They just took all our shit that we bought with drug money, right? Took our drug money and left a whole bunch of drugs. Sometimes it be like that. And the police, who gonna do something about it? We gotta pay them to stay on the fucking streets, because they can always shut down our fucking operation. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, this basically is everything that you basically said. It says cops are the enforcers of the mafia.
Man, I had to explain to my mama what the fuck my GameCube was. Do you understand how much a GameCube was back in the days?
Oh, yeah. They were like $300-400.
Man. I had all the games. I had Mario, I had Link with Zelda. Man.
I still got a GameCube, by the way.
Man, lucky motherfucker.
Yeah. Yep. So let's continue just a little bit, and we'll finish up with the story. Says the officer who resigned, Troy Lawrence Jr., has been subject to several civil rights lawsuits and excessive force complaints in recent years. His father, Troy Lawrence Sr., was promoted to deputy chief in 2020 after commanding Street Crimes Unit, which went by the acronym BRAVE for Baton Rouge Area Violence Elimination. Says according to a lawsuit filed last month, he repeatedly turned off and muted his body camera during his interactions with Jeremy Lee, the suspect who ended up hospitalized with broken bones and other injuries. Inside the warehouse, officers punched and kicked him while he screamed for help, the lawsuit alleges. After he was violently interrogated and arrested, the only criminal charge prosecutors pursued against Lee was resisting arrest. They were torturing people. They were torturing people. And this is why I said, beware of cops. Because they are literally taking and detaining people without arrest and beating and torturing them. And sometimes even sexual assault. So when we talk about defund the police, when we talk about police abolition, here are some stark examples as to why. And don't get me started on the 250,000 untested rape kits that are throughout police departments across this country. How many of them have police officer DNA in them? This is something that a lot of people really need to wake up to. Because when it comes to actual real public safety, we don't have public safety. At least not in our neighborhoods. We're trying to get public safety. Because the people who have badges and guns are not safe. They're not safe for us.
Community safety can only come from that community, not somebody coming from a couple of fucking neighborhoods or maybe even a state over to police your neighborhood, to be around and protect people he has no connection with. We don't walk like each other. We don't talk like each other. We don't dress like each other. We have nothing in common. There is no way that you can be here for me. You know, there's no way you can have me, have me in your heart first. Like, all right, I'm here to protect this man and his community. No, you're not. Like, I remember I was cussing out the police. Like, nigga, you don't even live in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I was like, where you from? It's like, well, I'm from Ann Arbor. I was like, no, I ain't trying to hear that, bitch. Ann Arbor is not Detroit. That's not even Metro Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be here. I'm not saying that because you're white. You know what I'm saying? I got white boys. I got white friends that was born and raised here. They connect with the black community like just like a regular nigga. But you are out of place, and I can tell. I can feel it. I can smell you and see that you're out of place. You shouldn't be here. You ain't gonna do nothing but make the hood more nervous, if anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Because the way he was just standing there, he looking like he would go for his damn gun. I'm like, look at you, man. You shaking? You can't do this shit, man. They put you on the east side. They want you to die.
Yeah, basically. So, like I always say, 10 demands for justice. Share this, read it. Spread it around, because that's what a lot of times people just do not. Nick, I see your ass in here. Nick, you better bring your ass on this stream.
Anyway, he just waking up. He like, shit.
Yeah, he probably just waking up. Anyway, good to see you though. 10 demands for justice. Nick is also one of the co-founders for this. So make sure to share this, because the thing is that every single time something like this happens, and I know people are going to be like, oh, well, you shouldn't politicize this. No, yes, politicize this. Politicize it. Make it known that the people who are in power are the ones who push this type of thing. Pin this on Joe Biden. Pin this on Maxine Waters. Pin this on Jim Clyburn. Pin this on AOC. Pin this on Pramila Jayapal, on Jamal Bowman. Pin this on Donald Trump. Pin this on the mayors, the red state mayors, as well as the blue state mayors and governors. Pin this on all of them. because they all bear a responsibility for all this, right? And there's 10 of them. And it is vital that we learn what these are. And by the way, maybe this could be considered as a shock to some people. But if you wanted to go after these people personally and sue them personally, you couldn't because of qualified immunity. By the way, people like RFK Jr. do not want to get rid of qualified immunity in order to go after police officers who do things like this. So for anybody, right, who makes the claim that, oh, RBN, they actually support RFK, absolutely not.
Who the fuck said that?
I'm not going to get into it because there's somebody who said that, and it's a bunch of bullshit, and I'm addressing it right now. Number one, we don't stand behind no Democratic candidate, number one. Number two, this is the same, RFK Jr. is the same motherfucker that said to a black journalist, oh, well, I'm for qualified immunity. By the way, I actually talked about this about a couple months ago. Go back on the Jaybe show and go ahead and take a look at that stream. It's called Qualified Stupidity. I titled it that.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and take a look at it. But RFK Jr. said that to black journalists, and then a white journalist asked him about it, and he said, oh, no, I actually don't want to get rid of qualified immunity. So, by the way, so just in case anybody knows, nah, RFK Jr. is not down with black people the way he tries to pretend that he is. So, nah, let's quell that as well.
Of course he not. What the hell? He's what kind of motherfucker? He's a Zionist. Of course he don't fucking like black people.
Exactly. So this whole thing with people thinking, oh, well, RBN supports RFK Jr. No, the fuck we don't.
Hold on, man. These niggas, first of all, they need to get off our dicks. They need to get off our dicks. They need to stop lying. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes them feel better about what we actually doing. You know, because what do they have? We all on the ground now. We all got our chapters. We all doing, like, we making everybody look bad, baby. You know what I'm saying? We here. We on the ground. We on the internet. We here. We're there. We doing everything that y'all said we can't. All y'all got is lies, my nigga. That's all you have is lies. But you know what I do have for you is a little bit of empathy, a little bit of sympathy, just enough to tell you to get off our dick and get your shit together. Like, you know, because y'all could be a voice on the left if you actually, you know, stop lying on people and actually stand for something instead of trying to bring people down, trying to bring or try to muddy the waters and whatnot. You can't speak for people who's saying, hey, go support third parties, go support this, or don't vote at all, because that's what I'm here for. I hear don't vote for me. I hear support third parties. I'm hearing this nigga CJ say some other shit. Everybody got their own thing, but nobody said anything about a Democratic nominee. Not one. Y'all want us to. Y'all want us to vote in the duopoly. They want us to, oh, these people going to vote for Trump. They're going to vote for Biden. No. Y'all want us to be weak like you because that's what you plan on doing. That's what you plan on doing, and you failed for that shit before. So you think that we're going to, like, no. They're looking to get these audience and that audience. No, we're looking for revolutionary people. And if you're not revolutionary, you will be by the end of the fucking week if you keep watching Revolutionary Blackout. I guarantee.
And I'm gonna put a line in the sand. If you're not against qualified immunity, you do not care about black people.
Of course, what the fuck? Like, if you a Zionist,
if you Zionist, you don't care about black people.
You are a fuck. You are a pig, bottom of the barrel type shit. You know what I'm saying? Zionists, in any way, anybody from Marianne Williamson, Joe Biden, all of them are pigs, war criminals, war hawks. These motherfuckers, like, what is RFK and stance on the wars? I don't pay attention to him too much because his voice gets on my fucking nerve. I'm not gonna fucking lie. So I don't pay attention too much. But I know he ain't about stopping no fucking wars. I know he ain't about stopping the war that's going on in Palestine. So I know damn well he ain't about to stop no wars
No. So so that's the thing. Like, and we have a special relationship with people in Palestine because the things that are being done against them, the police here go train with the IDF, and then they bring that same practices back over here. And then they do the exact same thing to Palestinians that they do to us. So, yeah. So, by the way, free Palestine. I'm saying it with my whole chest. So,
what's wrong with these people, bro?
Yeah.
They hate. They like, oh my God, why haven't they fucking failed yet? It's been 2 years. Why are they still going? This is it. This is the new face of the left. This is it. We the new face of the left.
Mm-hmm.
We are the new voices of the left. All that lazy bullshit yelling in front. Like, we can do both. We can yell in front of your camera all day, and we can go feed your bitch ass. It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard to make these motherfuckers look bad because they already make themselves look bad. Look at them. They run in circles every time. Oh, they run in circles with a love-hate relationship with the Democratic Party. Oh, fuck the Democrats. Fuck them. We're not voting. We're not voting. Oh, who's that over there? Oh man, that's a big scary man over there. Look like we're going to go back and vote for the Democrats, guys. And then when the Democrats get the power and they ain't doing shit, man, fuck these guys. Who's that over there? A bigger, scarier man. This time he has hair on his arm.
Hey, I got hair on my arms, man.
You a big scary man, Jaybe. Oh shit.
Oh man. But yeah, so share 10 demands for justice. Share the stream because this is what's actually happening. A lot of people do not realize what's going on, so that's very important. I also wanted to yes. Gregory, thank you so much. He said, did y'all hear about Georgia Democrat U.S. Senator John Ossoff supports Cop City in Atlanta? Of course he does.
All of them do.
Of course he does. How much you want to bet Raphael Warnock also does? I bet you he does. Right? And
nobody
if he says he
is going to challenge any
surprised.
type of power, why wouldn't he support cops? What the freak? Like the cops are there to protect his capital, protect his city, his like yeah. No, give a fuck about y'all motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And by the way, all those higher up people who are black in Atlanta who are supporting Cop City, yeah, forget them too, man. Because the thing is that they know it's wrong. They just don't care because to them they look down on black people who are in the lower classes too. That's what it
definitely
is.
do. Nobody give a fuck, man. Like these black people don't even live. The rich black people don't even live in black communities. I wish they stopped having these rich black celebrities speak for people. You know what I'm saying? That they never gonna see a day in their motherfucking lives. They don't have to connect with the people, none of that shit. Even if they go through our neighborhood as on a mistake and they look down on our house, we might take pride in our house. We might love the house that we grew up in. They probably like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? These are the people that you have speaking for us.